Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Please click on the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to get notified when I upload new videos. Hey guys, in this session we are going to look at the some of the basic Docker commands that you can use when you're working with this Docker. So before you start working with these Docker commands, once you're done installing the Docker, the first thing you will have to do is start the Docker service. So if you remember, I told you that your Docker follows your client server architecture. So you will need to start the server before you can start running the Docker commands. So to start the Docker service, you can run this Docker service Docker start, and this will start the service for you. If you don't do this, then you will get an error telling that the daemon is not running, and to get your Docker running, you can run this command. Once you're done with this, you can start running your Docker commands. So let's look at some of the basic commands that we have for your Docker. The first command we have is a Docker version. Now this will give you the information about your Docker client and your Docker server that is installed in your machine. So if I run this command Docker version, so this will give me the information about my client as well as my server. So what version of my client is installed, what version of my server is installed, what is the Go language that was used, when it was built, all that information will be available here. The next command we have is a docker-v. Now this is another command that you can use to see the version of your Docker that is installed. You can also make use of this docker-version, which gives you the same information. Now this is basically the longhand and this is the shorthand. The next command we have is a docker info. Now this command is used to give a detailed information about your Docker, like the number of containers that are running, that are paused, stopped, your images, your server version, then your volume where your data is being stored, what is the status of your swarm, then your host machine information, your security options. So most of the things, so all the information about your machine, so your Docker root directory, your registry you're pointing to, all that information will be available here. Then you have the docker-help. Now at any point of time, if you want to see the documentation, or if you want to see the list of available commands that you can use with Docker, you can make use of this docker-help. So this will give you the documentation, so a self-sufficient runtime for containers with the list of all the options that you can use with your Docker command, along with the management commands and the various commands that you can use with your Docker. And let's say you want to know how a particular command works. So let's say your Docker images. So I can say Docker images -help, and this will show me a nice information about my Docker images command, what is the use of Docker image command, and what are the list of options that are available with this command. The next command we have is a Docker login. Now this is used to log into the Docker Hub from the CLI. Now this will be used when you're trying to push your custom images to Docker Hub. You will need to first log into the Docker Hub. Now here when you run this Docker login commands, Docker login, this will prompt you for the credential, the username and the password. Now this will be the same username and password that you would have used when creating the account in the Docker Hub. So in the previous session when you created the account, the same credentials you need to provide here. So I will provide my credentials here, my username and my password, and here login is succeeded. So this is how you log into Docker Hub from the CLI mode, from the terminal. Next, let's look at some of the commands for your Docker images. So the first command we have is a Docker images. Now this command will show you the list of Docker images that are available in your host machine where your Docker is installed. So as of now, I don't have any images, so I'm getting an empty response. The next command we have is a Docker pull. Now this command is used to pull images from the Docker Hub. So any image that you want to pull. So let's say, for example, I will say Docker pull CentOS. So this will go to my library, which is basically the Docker Hub, and this will download the image for me, the CentOS image. So here downloaded newer image CentOS, the latest version, and from where it has downloaded. Now if I run this Docker images command, here is my image that is available on my local machine. Now by default, this will always pick the latest version if you don't specify anything. Now if you want a specific version, then you can provide the version. So something like, let's say 6. So here I'm telling I want to download the image CentOS and version 6. So what this will do is, this will go to the Docker Hub again, search for the specific version and download the specific version for me. By default, if you don't specify the version, it will always download the latest version for me. So here now I will have two images. One is the latest version and the other is version 6. The next command we have is a docker rmi. Now at any point of time, if you don't want any images, if you want to delete any images, you can make use of this command. So I can say docker rmi. Now either I can use the image name or I can use the image ID. So let's use the image ID. I'll copy this and I'll paste here. I'll run this and this will delete the image for me. So now this will only delete it from the local machine. It will not do anything on the Docker Hub. This is only on your local machine. Now let's look at some of the commands for your container. So the first command we have is a docker run. So if you want to run your image as a container, you make use of this docker run command. So let's run this CentOS as a container. So I can use this command docker run, and let's say I'll use -dit and name. So let's call this as CentOS container and my image name. So what I'm doing here, I want to run a container. Now this -dit options are -d is in the detached mode, meaning in the background. I is I want to interact with my container. T is I want a terminal or TTY to work with my container. -- name is used to give a name to your container, and CentOS is going to be my image name that I want to use to run my container. I will run this and here is my container ID and my container has started. Now to see the list of containers, you can run this docker ps command. So here if I say docker ps, here is my container that is running. That's my container ID, the image I have used, CentOS image, the command that was executed, when the container was created, since when it is up and running, and what is the container name. So this is what we have created, and I'm able to see the container created here. So docker ps will show you the list of containers. The next command we have is docker ps -a. Now docker ps command will only show you the list of containers that are up and running. Any stopped containers or any paused containers will not be available when you run this command. If you want to see all the containers irrespective of the status, you make use of this docker ps -a command. As of now, I have only one container, so I'm getting only one container. But if you have multiple containers which are not running or which have exited, you should be able to see all those containers when you run this command. The next command we have is a docker container stop. Now at any point of time, if you want to stop a container, you can make use of this docker stop command. So I can say docker stop. Now either I can use the container ID or I can use the container name. So let's go with the container ID and run this. And now if you see, if I run this docker ps, I don't get any output because no containers are running. So what I can do, I can use this -a, which will show me container irrespective of the status. So here my container has exited 8 seconds ago. And then if you want to start the container, you can make use of this docker start and the container ID, and this will again start the container for you. So now my container is up since 2 seconds. Next, let's look at some of the commands for your Docker system about your host machine. So for the first command we have is a docker stats. Now this command will help you to understand the resource usage of your containers, your memory usage that your containers are utilizing. So here, if I run this docker stats, this will show me the resource utilization. So my container ID, my container name, what is the CPU utilization, what is the memory utilization, what is the limit, memory utilization in percentage, network input output, block input output, and my process ID. So this is basically the resource utilization of my containers. The next command we have is a docker system df. Now this is for your disk usage, your hard disk utilization of your host machine. So here, if I run this docker system df, here is my disk usage. So how many images I have? how many images are active, what is the space it is occupying, my containers, volumes, build cache, all these things will be available here. So this is my disk usage and this is my RAM and CPU utilization. The next command we have is a docker system prune. Now this command is used to remove any unused data. Any data that you're not utilizing or not attached to any container will be removed. You will have to be very careful with this command because this is irreversible. So if you delete something, you will not be able to recover the data again. So here I can say this docker system prune and this will give you a warning. So this will remove all the stopped containers, all networks not used by at least one container, all dangling images, all dangling build cache, and this will ask you whether you want to continue or not. If I give Y, then this will delete. So as of now, I don't really have any unused data. So I have got a 0 bytes reclaimed space. But if you have any unused data, then this command will delete that data for you. That's all I have for this session. So these are some of the basic commands that you can use when you're working with your Docker. In the next session, we will look a little more about your images and a little more commands that you can use with your Docker images. So that's all for this session. I will see you in the next video.